Welcome back to Go Guitar Lessons. I know it's been a while since I posted a video. Things have been very busy, plus I took vacation, so now I promise I will post it once per week. Of course I'll be providing content for beginners and intermediate, and then the advanced lessons will be a little bit less than once a week, maybe once or twice per month. Okay, so a few things I want to talk about. First of all, we never talked about tuning your guitar. Now, when you're a beginner, tuning your guitar by ear is very difficult. Although it does take practice, what I recommend is tuning your guitar by a clip-on tuner or using an app. Okay, so my guitar here has a built-in tuner that I use, or you can download an app for free. It's called Guitar Tuna. It's very simple to use. This is what it looks like. You can get it from the App Store. I believe they have it for Apple or for Android as well. And it's free, and it's fairly accurate. It's not quite as accurate as a clip-on tuner or a tuner that you'd have on your guitar. Now, the reason I say to do this right away is because you need to hear what an in-tune guitar sounds like. So essentially what you're doing is you're developing your ear to what a guitar should sound like. Because you don't quite know, actually, when you're first starting, a guitar that's slightly out of tune might sound fine to you. And this is very common. I see this all the time with my students, where I stop and tell them that their guitar is out of tune and they have no idea that it's actually out of tune. So what I recommend is tuning your guitar with an electronic tuner for the first, say, 2 months, and then start the process of learning how to tune by ear. Okay? Cool. This lesson we're going to be looking at an introduction to blues, and we'll be looking at an introduction to blues rhythm. Okay, so it's going to be pretty basic shuffle. Okay, so we're going to be looking at a basic blues shuffle in the key of E. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to play an E power chord. Okay, so how you play an E power chord is you're going to put your index finger here on the 2nd fret A string, and you're going to pick the low E string and the A string together. The low E string is going to be open. Now the shuffle rhythm, we call it the spread shuffle, is based off of a power chord. Okay, so you're going to hit that twice, and you're just picking the low E and the A string together, and then you're going to add your ring finger to the A string 4th fret, and we're going to pick again the low E string and the A string together twice. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, for now I want you to do all downstrokes with the pick. Okay, so that is called the 1 chord. You might not quite understand what that means, but it has to do with a progression number in the key of E. And now we're going to be switching to the 4 chord, so which is A. A is the 4th chord in the key of E, so that makes this the 4 chord. We're going to do the same idea exactly, but we're going to play an A power chord. So drop your index finger down to the D string 2nd fret, and our picking hand is going to pick the A string and the D string together now. And we do the same thing, 1, 2, add the ring finger to the 4th fret, 1, 2, and repeat this. Okay, we're going to go back to the 1 chord, which is E, so that's bringing your index finger back up to the A string 2nd fret, and we're going to pick the low E string and the A string together. Okay, so a blues progression has to do with which chords you're using and how many bars that you're doing it. Typically, we do a 12-bar blues progression. We won't worry about the bars just yet, but we will worry about the progression. We've done a 1 and we've done a 4. Now we need to do a 5. Okay, now unfortunately the 5 is kind of difficult for a beginner because it requires a huge stretch. This is what a 5 in the spread shuffle looks like. This is, of course, why it's called the spread shuffle. So I'm going to teach you both ways. I'll teach you a beginner cheat way to get around it, and then I'll teach you the spread shuffle way. And then as you get better, you can try the spread shuffle. Okay. So the 5 chord in the key of E blues is a B power chord. So it's going to be 2nd fret A string and the ring finger on the 4th fret D string. And I want you to pick the A string and D string together. Then we're going to jump down to the spread shuffle on the 4 chord, which is A. So index finger on the D string, 2nd fret, A string open. And then finally the 1 chord again. Okay, so I'll run through that whole thing. This is a very, very simple spread shuffle. And we'll start with the 1 chord. We're changing the 4 chord. Back to the 1 chord. Here's the 5 chord. 4 chord. 1 chord. Perfect. Okay, so I want you to get comfortable with that, and then move on to the next part of the video where we're going to add a turnaround. Okay, so we're going to add a turnaround to it, which allows us to recycle the rhythm over and over and over again. And blues turnarounds are very, very famous. It's usually the one of the main things that people recognize about a blues progression. Okay, we're also going to add in the actual spread shuffle. So to do the spread shuffle on the 5 chord, what you have to do is you have to put your index finger on 2 on the A string, your ring finger on 4 on the D string, and your pinky finger, what it's going to do is it's going to jump on and off of the D string 6 while you're holding these other 2 fingers there, okay? So it would be like this, pinky would be off for the first 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, we add it back on again, take it off, 1, 2, put it back on, 1, 2, and then we jump down to the A shuffle, which is easy because it's using open notes. It's using an open string, okay? Let's add that in there, and I'll show you what it should look and sound like. Here's the 5 spread. Turnaround. Okay, there's a lot of great blues turnarounds that you can do, but we'll start off with the basic one. I want you to play a D7 shape. So if you played any songs that have a D7, this is what it looks like. And we're going to walk this shape down for the turnaround. So put your middle finger here on the G string 4, your index on the B string 3, and your ring finger on the high E string 4. What we're going to do on our picking hand is we're going to pick the G string, the high E string, and then the B string. Okay? So just in that same order. We're going to take the same shape, move it down by 1 fret, repeat the picking order. Move it down again, repeat the picking order again. And then we're going to do a hammer-on from 0 to 1 on the G string with the index finger. Okay? And then finally we have the walk up to the 5 chord. It's going to be 3 in the low E string, open A string, 1 on the A string, 2 on the A string. We're going to hold that finger there and we're going to build a B7 chord. So that's middle finger on the A string, 2nd fret, index finger on the D string, 1st fret, ring finger on the G string, 2nd fret, and there's more. There's the pinky finger that goes on the 2nd fret high E string. So that last piece, I recommend that we alternate pick for the A string. There's 3 notes in a row here, 0, 1, 2. Take you a while to get used to that B7 chord. Just keep practicing it. What I recommend is after you do the walk, Do not take off this finger. Just use it as an anchor and everything will be added. Okay, so that whole turnaround part should look like this.